Sorry, I was waiting for that glitchiness to go away, which still haven't figured out what the hell is happening there. But welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. Turns out yesterday, because I am human and well, my memory isn't necessarily the greatest. Let's say I totally brainwhiffed that there's a special Saturday edition of Dynamite. So there's nothing for me to recap today. I'm only human. I'm a human that has used his head as a battering ram for one too many times. So I decided to take the day and we'll do something different today. Something we haven't done in a very long time. It's just been a lot of recaps, just the way the schedule worked out. But now that I'm back trying to go full time as much as I can, I decided to go over some. I spent the day watching some old Dark Side of the Ring between shopping, grass cutting, all that stuff. I made it through the whole first season and half of Benoit before I came through here, which is actually kind of impressive with cutting the front and backyard, errands, all that stuff. Like, I'll actually kind of take that as a good sign. But I figured today we'll go over a list of things that I like to watch, on cable or Hulu Live, whatever you have, to get it. And more importantly, on the network on Peacock. And the things that entertain me, just because we haven't had one of those in such a long time. Like, it's just been recap. And with Justin, we always had sidebar stuff for other things we never really talked about. It's been a while since we talked about the stuff we like to watch. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Like, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So I figured go over a bunch of that, and then you people could tell me what you think. You can tell me if I missed anything or give me suggestions, because I'm always open to suggestions. When I have the time, mostly when Hannah isn't around, because she wasn't a wrestling fan until, I came into her life, but she has agreed we'll go to wrestling and she does sit down and watch it with me when I have it on and actually semi pay attention, which is better than just not paying attention. Also, she's growing. Yeah. It's growing on her like a fungus or something. I don't know. It's the best way to describe it, but obviously we have to go with, stuff that's on. I mean, obviously the current products, on cable, Raw, SmackDown 2.0. If you can get past the ridiculous setup they have there, still hurts my head. But then we have Dynamite, Rampage. Lots of really I know Ring of Honor is on TV, which is good to see. If you can catch it, it's hard to catch it. At least here, it's hard for me to catch it. It's always on random. I'm sure it's on the same time, but I'm just still running around all the time. But that's good when you watch them. I mean, they have some good stuff. Not the greatest, but they have good stuff going. Impact, whatever the hell they call it. Impact TNA. It's been all kinds of different stuff. But, they, again, good wrestling. NWA stuff. Doing good. Like there's lots of really good, this is a good time to be a wrestling fan. You just have to find it. And there's even a lot of local, notice at least here, a little bit, there's local, local independent wrestling, which is a great thing to have. And I found out about December, I want to say. It was right before the inauguration. So, yeah, it was in December. It was right after Christmas, I believe, right before New Year, in between there. The guy the notary that came and did the refinance. I refinanced this joint. This beautiful place. He was actually on that independent wrestling thing. They finally just got approved to have the big building that they're in to actually be counted as, a venue. So they could, instead of what it was, so they could amplify the amount of people that they had there, which I thought was a really good thing. Again, there's lots of local stuff all over the place. So go and catch that too. You can even catch people sharing it all over the place. Pay attention. So it's a good time to be wrestling. But again, there's lots of wrestling on TV besides just the big guys. And Ring of Honor, Impact, there's NWA stuff, AEW, WWE 2.0, The Wrestlers, which was a good show. Don't have to pick it up for another season, but you get to see stuff from Evolve and all that, like Young Riddles and Austin Theories and Keith Lee's, and they talk to Mia Yim and all that on there. I mean, there's so much good stuff. violent stuff, luchador stuff, like all kinds of stuff you get to see on there. So if you never watched it, I say go for it. It's a really, I mean, I enjoyed it. I haven't made it all the way through it yet, but I've made it through, you know, anything really, like fully. Damn, I don't think I've actually made it to the end of Dexter at all, anywhere near, or anything. Like I'm just not good at it. Um, but I do highly recommend that. And then again, Dark Side of the Ring, which I went through the first season, and Hannah was here paying attention to a bunch of it, some of it at least. She was into it. She was asking all kinds of questions about, the episode with the last of the Von Erichs, with all the stuff that happened with all that and what was going on. Then she was watching the one about Gino, and she had to go shower before work. And she was asking me what the hell happened so she can know. I said, well, I'm not going to be able to watch it. I got to go shower. And so I got to sit there and tell her, some stuff about that and everything that happened and the conclusion. And then she did make it out in time to see the last, few minutes of it. And I think she even saw the ending of the Brody one, Bruiser Brody, on the first season there before she finally, that was right when she got in like the door, I think, because I was sitting around waiting, charging batteries for the lawnmower because they were all dead at one point. I cut everything and it was forever and I waited too long. That's, we all know that pain. And she was really into it, which I thought to be a really good thing because the one I had on the first time, she's like, oh, Owen Hart? I'm like, yeah. We were talking about it one day. It's not about people die. And I brought that up. And then while she looked and saw no one sees the video, but she figured out what happened and freaked out. And I showed her that, that episode, she saw the New Jack one too, which that had to baffle her mind. But like, that is some good shit right there. Like, it's really good, the stuff they have. And again, I watched, the first season again today. And there was stuff that I picked up on that I forgot that they even covered or I didn't pick up the first time. Like there's little stuff you pick up every single time you rewatch. You can't pick it all up. There's so much going on there. You could try to pick it all, but I don't think you physically can. And that's what I love about having it there. So Dark Side, again, I got through the first half of Benoit. The second half is paused out there. I'm going to turn it on when I make the rice for dinner and make some sushi to go with some soup I'm making. And I'll probably get through that. Well, at least some of it before I come back in and do the other show that I do, Jesse Rosinski Show, which is a good one. So check that one out too if you want. But I'm really excited to get through that, and I get to see the one with Dino Bravo again. And I haven't even made it through the third season, like the newest one. I think I've actually really only watched The Plane Ride from Hell. Sometimes because of lack of trying, I just don't have. I'm always running here, there, and everywhere. Errands every day, phone calls. She's making me work out and do all kinds of burpees. And anyone that's ever done a burpee knows how much they suck. Granted, I'm not complaining. I love every second of it. I love staying busy. It's a really good thing to never be able to sit down. But one day when the whole season is done, I tend to sit around. I binge it. That's how I did the second season. I sat down and I just binged the whole thing, back to back days. And I said, "What? I don't care what has to happen." And really, I don't even think it was that. I think it came out, and I waited until it was raining incessantly for days on end. So it's not like I could go outside. Couldn't cut the grass, couldn't walk anywhere, so I just sat down, I got through it. That's how I like to watch things. I just cruised through it all in one day. And I'm gonna get there season 3, but yeah, I got through season 1 today. Sat down, it was amazing to hear them again. The different stories that they had. I didn't notice there was so much WCCW, world class, the first time I went through it all. They got Gino, they got Von Erichs. I'm sure I did notice. You got to see Brody and 2 different episodes, from one episode right into the Von Erichs one where they show him after it was David that passed away in Japan. There's lots of really good stuff in there. So yeah, and I highly recommend getting your eyes on that if you haven't, because it's just good. There's no other descriptive word for it. It's just straight good. They do a good job, regardless of people that are saying, it wasn't necessarily like that, right? Of course, there's always conflicting stories with everything. Hell, there's a million people that be in the same room I see in the Marine Corps, everyone has a different story of what actually happened. Like that's just the way it is, and how people want to remember things, and what people are actually letting you know that they know because they've paid to act and play a character. Yeah, so well they can pull off and lie straight through their teeth, and you never know. But again, good stuff. Got through it all in one day. You can't do that with 2 and 3 seasons because they're just so much longer. But it's a great show, and I'm very happy that I went back through and took the time to watch it today. When I went, oh yeah, that's not until Saturday night, and I felt like an idiot. But I got to catch up on that stuff, which was really good. And that moves me off the cable stuff. I don't think there's too much more I'm missing. I'm sure there is. I'm really, really, really good at forgetting things. Sorry. It's what I do. I apologize. But me and my memory, we parted ways a long time ago. We're not necessarily the best of friends anymore. It is what it is. But that moves us on to the network, Peacock. Don't want to get into pay-per-view things. We have to shut it down and restart it because it just goes to hell every time. But I mean, there were times where people were 2-3 matches ahead of me just from all the stupid stuff that happened on the network. So I've never had a good experience with it, really. I mean, like no matter what, something stupid 90% of the time happens. So going to Peacock, the same damn thing for me. Some people are talking about how much worse it is now for them since it went to Peacock. It's really the same thing. Something stupid always happened. Right at the time you didn't need it to happen. So that's, is what it is. But I do. There's some things I like to watch. I mean, I like to watch Legends of JBL. I think those are great interviews. And that's something I wrote down here to try to remember because, well, again, I have really, really bad memory. I don't know what it was. I don't think, probably, I don't know, a couple severe concussions. Yeah, using my head as a battering ram. The accident night before Thanksgiving in 2019 when I decided to fight the front end of a pickup truck and then Western Boulevard with my dome piece. I still think I won that fight, but that was a great sit down. And I thought I did a really good job interviewing those people. It's like the other one he was with, but around the table, something like that. That one went tits up too, even though that was a great one too. I enjoyed it. And you could hate it. I thought it was good. I thought I did a very good job with it. I just like sit down interviews or, sitting there just talking, telling stories, explaining how things went when they were in these positions. Yeah. Probably why I have so many biographies and history books and stuff. Like historical books and autobiographies up on my shelf. Like I just like that kind of stuff. It's my thing. That's why I love Broken Skull Sessions. I caught up with they put out so many since the Peacock Virgin, all that merger. They went on there and I've caught up with a lot of it. I think the last one I made it through was the one after The Godfather. I don't remember what even that was at all. But I know I made it through the one with The Godfather, and then the next one started, and she came home, and dogs went off, and yeah, everyone that has dogs knows how that is. People come in, suddenly it's very hard to pay attention to things. But I always thought it was really good from the beginning. There was that weird phase where it's the Steve Austin show. The podcast was they weren't doing it on the network anymore after a long run. They did Talk to Jericho, which is still a great episode. Like I still think Chris did a great job. He's good at telling stories, and he's been around for forever. He knows so much. He can interview anyone. He's been, I've been everywhere, man. Like he really has. So that was good. But the Broken Skull Sessions, I mean, all the stuff, especially just obviously we're gonna like it the most with the stuff he did with Taker, just to hear Taker finally, talk. I mean, obviously, he did the whole documentary series. There's 5 parts or something, which is great. Like, go and watch all that. Like, that was really good. And it was such a long time coming because he really did like protect the business and that character, and he didn't talk anything. It's just amazing how much you didn't hear, how big he was, the streak, how much you just didn't see him do anything, which is very impressive, at any time, especially nowadays. So those were probably my favorites so far. But I mean, hearing, Taker tell stories, Godfather, come out, Papa Shango, whatever you want to call him, the Good Father, Yeah, but Charles Wright come out and tell the stories and all that of everything he went through was amazing. And it was great to hear that, just because, again, I haven't been paying attention, but you don't get to hear him talk. I don't get to see him talk that often. Again, could just be time, all that, but he had good stories, and again, he was around for so long, doing so many different characters, playing so many different roles. Like that was really, really, really good. That was a great episode, and I'm sure there's so many more other ones that I didn't even get to yet. And again, it's just my kind of thing. I like watching that kind of stuff, just like Something Else to Wrestle with Bruce, and Conrad. I think that I loved it all, went through it all. Sometimes I even go back and rewatch them. Don't know if there's ever going to be another season, but now that Bruce is back, producing things and doing the whole NXT thing, probably not. Had something really good going, opened the door for a bunch of other people. I mean, Broken Skull did, Stone Cold did with this show, but Bruce came in, did really good there with him and Conrad. And it's got Not Sam show. We're going to get into that after this, but Something Else to Wrestle. I mean, they tell you stuff, Shawn before he left, Shawn when he came back, Cena, the evolution of Taker. Like, there's so many good episodes and stuff on there. Him and Vince Russo, a whole episode on him. And who doesn't love hearing them just talk? Just God bless the two of them. Not as bad as him and Cornette, Vince, but damn, get over it already. They never will. But it's amazing when you think about it, the craziness there. But I love to watch that and get through all that stuff. I mean, AJ, WWE CW, which again, I hated WWE CW. Like, I'm one of the people that said the zombie. What? He came out and came the hell out of him. But it's still a zombie. Like, it might have been for 5 seconds, but that just proves how dumb it was. It was never going to work. It's like, when you do stuff like that, and they talk about that. CM Punk, I mean, they hit so many different things. You can go back and watch it over and over again. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and have their actual podcast, Something to Wrestle. Like, go check that out. Like, on podcasting platforms, wherever you want to find them. They're in a bunch of different places. It's not hard to find them. Pretty sure I have them on my Apple Podcasts, and I don't think I've followed them on Spotify just because, well, that's how I share my own stuff out to people. I'm not a mark. I don't listen to my own stuff just to get a view. So, and listen. So there. But Something Else to Wrestle with Bruce and Conrad. They tell great stories. The antagonize, Conrad antagonizes and gets him going. All like the different things they bring into it. And it's good. Like, I thoroughly, hope that they bring another season of it to the network just for, storytelling and entertainment value. That's just, again, another thing I love to watch. And then Not Sam Wrestling to close out the show is like, I mean, even though he looks like a mixture of like Dean Ambrose and like Mick Foley kind of put together, the facial hair, like, regardless of that, I mean, like, from where he was at the beginning, like he says on the one episode where he could barely get a sentence out in the live crowd. I mean, look at him now. He is phenomenal. His show tells you all kinds of stories. He gets great guests, which I'd love to have on here. Those kind of guests, or anyone really, just come on and talk to me about the stuff. Shoot the shit. I'm all about that. But like, the passion that he has for it, like, I fully understand that. One day I'd love to, be in the position that he was in. Who knows? You never know in this crazy, crazy world. But I enjoyed like watching him have his passion and talk about all the different things he does, whether it's First, Halloween, families, music, which there's some hell of a good music on there. Like, throughout wrestling, not the episode, It covers all kinds of cool stuff that I'd love to cover too. My first wrestling event, all that stuff. Like, there's so much good stuff on there, and I don't even know if people actually sit down and take the time to watch it. I know I did forever. I looked at things and what the hell is that? Until I finally watched it, and guess what? I sat there and watched them all. This was before they were even done. I still have gone back and watched them again. Like, they are really, really just phenomenal. In my opinion, he does a really, really good job. With all of it. And Hot Dog, the producer, he's only there a little bit. But I mean, they do so many good things, tell so many close stories. Powerlifting with Mark Henry. I mean, like he does all kinds of really good stuff. He tells such good stories and expresses his passion, which is all you really need in this world. Be passionate about it. Have your stories, have your feelings, have a passion. Nothing wrong with wrestling is your passion. I see nothing wrong with it. And I got all that. Got stacks of stuff there. Got stacks of stuff there in frames. I got belts. I got all kinds of stuff that I just don't have anywhere to put. Funko Pops out there. Like there's stuff everywhere. That is one of my biggest things. It's always been one of my things for hell, I don't know, over 20 years now. Well over 20. Yeah, 22, 23. Yeah, something like that. It's been a long time. Yeah, even longer, 25. I think I did 23. Yeah. Regardless, like this is one of my passions. I'm so passionate about auto racing. Halloween's one of my favorite things. You know, growing plants. Like there's cooking. Love it. Drawing and being arty. Now, there's lots of stuff that people are passionate about, and he is very passionate. And you can hear that and see that on the show. It's all of his stuff all over the place. I wish I could have some of his signed horror stuff, but yeah, one thing at a time. But I just love the show because of the passion and the stories that he tells about all of his stuff. And here's this and the stuff that you don't hear a lot of people talk about. So it's really, really like I enjoy it. And I think he was, did a very good job. And hopefully they get a second season that comes out soon. They let him keep just doing his own thing because I think he's doing phenomenal. I really actually can't complain about it. That's saying something. It's something on the network. When do they ever give you nothing to complain about? Really? When do they ever give you anything not to complain about? Like that's a real question. It very, very rarely happens, but there's that. And then it moves on to even better things like the old pay-per-views, like old WrestleManias when you want to go see hardcore title matches. Kane throwing people through plate glass, windows and walls and all hell breaking loose. Hardcore title battle royals, TLC matches, old Royal Rumbles. Watch all the WrestleManias on the way to the most current WrestleMania. One year I sat down and I think I made it. I've missed last 5, just timing wise. To catch up on all the old WrestleManias. It was phenomenal. Like it's all there, just like old Raw and SmackDown moments and episodes. Nothing ever beat, like Stone Cold in the grocery store beating the hell out of Booker. Like nothing will beat that. Like that is phenomenal. I can go back and watch that right now and make me laugh, just like it was brand new. And all the stuff they hit, they did cut, the Sinatra song out when you watch it back on the network. Which shame on you, Stone Cold singing. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Yeah, like they played that so well, and they took it off. Just that one part, but the rest of it is there. It is glorious. Day when old Stone Cold came back. Old ECW stuff. Like there's so much good stuff on there. Old King of the Rings. SummerSlam. I mean, you name it. The original Chamber match. That thing's phenomenal. I went back and watched the original Chamber pay-per-view. Before the last Chamber pay-per-view, just to go back and see it so I could talk about it. Like it was phenomenal. Like old Hell in a Cell matches, old everything. Like there's so much good stuff there that people don't take advantage of, like the old Tough Enoughs. Like way back in the day when Tough Enough was still like Tough Enough. Or turning you guys are doing like obstacle course. And this and the other is really just people out there wrestling. You got cut depending on how you did when they, popularity or anything like that. Like there's so much good stuff on there. Breaking Ground. Breaking Grounds. That was great. All the WWE 24/7s and all that stuff. It's all there. Like you just have to go and actually find it. And again, we go those old ones. I mean, I still have to go with Mick Foley's and Stone Cold's is my favorites. Still give me the, those goosebumps and all that every time, we get to certain points. Again, you can tell me yours. There's lots of good ones in there, though. Like phenomenal goals. I'm sure there's a lot that I've forgotten about. And it's just, I don't know. It was just really, really good to have a day to just sit down and watch Dark Side of the Ring and wrestling stuff, and just I did a lot of running around and crazy stuff. That much long I was up. When I finally got to do this, including errands and watching that, like everything, like it wasn't a lot, but it was enough that it was like just one of the most soothing, relaxing days I had, minus waking up to a puddle of dog poo on the carpet. But it was good. And if you think I missed anything or you have anything to say about anything I said, hell, comment away on this thing on the socials, on YouTube, on Facebook, Spotify if you can. Like, just go on there, comment, tell me what you think I missed, tell me what you agree with, tell me what you think I should watch. Like, I'm always open to watch new stuff and hang out with stuff, or if I missed anything, or sit down and talk with someone about stuff like this on the show. Like, I'm more than happy to sit down and talk with anybody about it. And they can tell me what their favorite things are that I missed. Like, it's a hand. Like, we can talk about that. If Jess was here, we'd be crying, laughing right now. It's just not as funny when I'm saying it by myself. It's just so good, like, to have that day. And but again, really, I look like, please go on there. Never mind. See that? Like it, share it, comment on it, and repeat. Like, comment, tell me what you think, what I should watch. If you agree with me, if I missed anything, I know I missed stuff. I know I did. Duh, it's me. Not it's me, it's DDP. No, it's me. It's brain damage ski. The poor memory. And I look forward to it. Like, I know people are like, I know you're gonna have some great stuff to tell me. I know I'm like, again, I look forward to people telling me stuff that suggest stuff, tell me what I should watch, because I know I miss stuff. I'm only human. And I think it's going to be so glorious. And I really do look forward to your answer. So again, like, I'll be back tomorrow, cover something else. Who knows? I like to, wing it. Like, I wake up and this is what I feel like. So I think it keeps, everyone on the seat of their pants, gives you more, especially as there's nothing on TV, which means it's going to be something. Who knows? Who knows? But again, follow along on all the socials, all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble for the videos, Anchor, Breaker, Sketcher, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Those all help me along. I can keep track of those on my Anchor account. I'm also available on iHeartRadio. I don't get subsidized for that listening platform, but I don't care. As long as you listen to it, again, follow along on that. If you wanted to sit there and don't look at my stupid face, you can listen along. I'm okay with that. It's a goofy looking face covered in lots of hair. But I appreciate all of it. Again, comment on it and share away. Follow along on all the platforms. It helps me out. Comment on, especially YouTube. Follow along there and comment on there, because it helps get me farther up on the things, just to pop up randomly for people. It gets, more things going, to help monetize things. Just makes a better experience for y'all. Shirts, and I don't care about me. Do this like to get her off, but to help, to interact with y'all. So I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be good to each other. Watch some stuff that I mentioned. Tell me what I missed. Tell me if you agree with me. And like always, be good to each other. Enjoy the rest of your night. And till next time, peace.